I think most important is that I work in a team. So I work with Herman designers, and Herman is already two people. And besides that, I also work with a writer, Arnold van Brugge. And together we have a lot of discussions. We communicate a lot about what we are doing. We are very critical towards each other. And we're not afraid for a fight, a good fight with each other, and that really helps. Actually, we are in a constant fight when we're making a book. So I'm not right now in the end of the process of a new book, and it's constantly a fight between the designer's ideas, between my ideas, and between Arnold's ideas. And I think finally the mix of all our ideas and all the things we do, this mix makes it hopefully to a really good book. That's really important. And I think many photographers are too individualistic. Difficult word, but you understand what I mean. So they want to control every process, and they're not open for critic from designers or from writers. Also, the other way is very dangerous, by the way. I'm talking too long probably, but you also have photographers who completely rely on the designer. So the designer is very critical. He tells the photographer what he or she has to do with the book, and then you see that it ends up in a book, and the author is actually more the designer than the photographer. This also happens very often when a designer becomes established, and actually he takes away the concept sometimes more or less from the photographer. So it's difficult. You have to find a good balance between being critical, fighting with each other, and in the end draw your own conclusion. I think the starting point for a book must be a good concept. But a concept is always, how do you say this? Movable. You can always change the concept a little bit, but the base of the concept must be really strong. That's your idea. That's how you communicate. You have to communicate the base, the concept to the designers and to the writer, if the writer is someone you ask to write for you. That's very important. So you need a strong, good concept, but afterwards you can shift a little bit with this concept, and again, you have to listen to what the designers think about it, and what the writer thinks about it, and what your grandmother thinks about it, and what your girlfriend thinks about it. So it's very important to listen to other people and to be open, and in the end make your own conclusion. Actually, I think working with a publisher is a choice, and it doesn't say that it makes a better book or that it makes a book worse or whatever. Of course, there are important things to realize when you start working with a publisher. A publisher wants to have his own ideas about the cover of the book, for example. The cover must be commercial. If you think that the story or the thing you want to tell is more important than the aesthetics of the cover or the ISBN number, let's say the barcode, or the whatever, the blurb on the back of the book. If you think that's all bullshit, shouldn't be in your book, then it's better not to work with a publisher. But until now, I didn't work with publishers, but I'm going to work with a publisher. So, yeah. The Sochi project is almost finished. It will be finished in October 2013, and then we have our Atlas of War and Tourism in the Caucasus, the big final book about the region around Olympic Sochi. And we decided we wanted to have a good distribution network for the book, especially also focusing on the US, because we don't have we are more or less known in Europe, but not in the US. So we need some tools to get into the US. So we actually only wanted to work with one publisher, a publisher who leaves you alone with your ideas and is really good in conceptual things and those kind of things, but also very strong in the US, and that's Aperture. So we decided to work with Aperture. It was actually also not that we wanted to have a publisher, we wanted to work with Aperture. That's the idea. So we were approached by many publishers to do the end book, but in the end we had a discussion again at Herman office. We said we don't want to work with a publisher, only with Aperture. If it's not Aperture, we do it ourselves. So that's also, I think, just finding the good. Actually, that's also part of the team working with Aperture. It's just one part of the team which is necessary to get exactly what we want. Yeah, many books are published, and actually, I'm quite happy with it. Of course, sometimes it's my opinion that the books do not have a really good quality. Sometimes I have the feeling that photographers really want to publish a book, and that's actually the point. They want to publish a book, and then afterwards you will be famous or get recognition or whatever, I don't know. But I really wonder if photographers always think about the reason why you're actually making this book. And there's nothing wrong with making a book because you want to make a book, you want to become famous or whatever. But be honest to yourself and say to yourself, like, I want to make this book because I think I will be famous afterwards. That's perfect, do it. So, and there are many books right now being produced. I think it's only good. And in the end, quality will always stand out. So, it's good to have a lot of concurrence in this world as well.